Hi everyone, welcome to the course. So I just wanted to give you a quick walk through your Canvas pages so that you can kind of get an idea of what the flow is inside of the course before you get started. So here I have open the student view. So I'm seeing the same view that you would see once you're in the course. So here's the places that I want you to take a look at. First off, over here to the right, and I'm going to go ahead and ping my cursor, to the right you have a to-do list. You should take a look at this at the start of each week, because when I set a module for the week to go live, it's going to populate your to-do list. And so this is a great way to quickly take a look and see what it is you need to complete, and to make sure that you've done everything that's actually due for the week. So when you go through the week's module, because all the modules are set up for the week, the module is actually going to walk you through everything you need to do for the week so that you don't forget anything. I took an online course over the summertime on how to teach an online course. Hopefully it's better for you guys. But also I wanted to see where some of the pain points were, and get that experience from the student side. And the thing that I found that was most challenging was trying to make sure that I didn't forget anything that was due for the week. So I wanted to try to make that easier for you. So make sure you take a look at your to-do list. It will have a list of everything that's due. It will also have the day and the time that the assignment will close out. So it tells you, let's take a look at this first one. It says the discussion about you. Tells you how many points it's actually due, and the day and the time that it's going to close out. So that's really important. As you complete them, you'll see a green check mark show up, and that tells you you did it, which is great. And that way you can take a look and make sure you've done everything for the week. So take a look at your to-do list. When you first open it up, you're going to be here on the welcome page, the very first day. And what it's telling you here is basically sort of the overview and the breakdown. Each week, figure you're going to have anywhere from 1 to 2 lectures that you want to take a look at. Now the lectures are actually pre-recorded for you, because I found when I was a student in the online class that sometimes someone else might have been using the internet, and you couldn't jump on live because all you got was just internet, going in and out because someone else in the house was using the internet. Or maybe you had to be in another place at the time that the lecture was going on. So in order to take away that pain point, your lectures are going to be pre-recorded. I do not have a studio. I'm making a studio for you. So some days the lectures are going to look better than others. So bear with it. But they are going to be pre-recorded so that you can watch them when it's convenient for you. So hopefully that's going to help. So you don't have to jump in at 9:30 every morning to try to get into the live lecture. Okay, they're going to be pre-recorded for you, and you can watch them at any time. So that's what that's telling you here. Each week you're going to have 1 to 2 lectures that are pre-recorded. Inside your module, you'll get to that page where it says lecture, and then the lecture will be embedded right there. You just watch it. Most lectures are going to be about an hour. Sometimes a little bit more depending on the topic, but you can start it and you can stop it at any time. Start it, watch until your brain says, I've had enough. Go eat, go get something to drink, take a break, come back when you're ready, and then continue and pick it up from there. So you don't have to watch it all, in 1 hour sitting if your brain can only take 30 minutes at a time. So that's perfectly fine. So that should give you some more flexibility in your learning. But you do just want to make your way through the lectures that are actually embedded for the week so that you stay up with the material. Monday morning, you have a discussion that's going to go live, as you saw in the to-do list, every Monday. That's super important that you actually jump in and do the discussion, because that's your check-in. That tells me that you're actually still in the course, you're still participating, you didn't just like forget all about the course or anything like that. So every Monday, make sure you go in, you're going to head over to your to-do list. You'll see a discussion embedded there. And go ahead and click on it and get started. And usually it's going to be something where I pose a prompt where you either have to give your opinion on whatever interesting topic has popped up for the week. And in science, there is always something interesting happening. But it's going to be super easy. So it's basically, just jump in, learn to give your opinion in a way that is collegial. All right, here's my thoughts. This is what I think on the subject. You can reply or respond to someone else's thoughts. That's fine. But you never want to attack anybody or anything like that. So you're learning how to have that scientific discourse, okay? But most importantly, it's also telling me that you are still part of the class, because I began to drop people who are not participating. So make sure you do your Monday morning check-in discussion, okay? Then you want to jump into your module and go through, and it's going to guide you through the week. Each week, you're going to have anywhere from 1 to 2 labs that you need to complete. So that's sort of the basic overview that you need to plan on, that you need to basically read the chapters in your book that follow along and go to your syllabus, and you'll see which chapter we're on based on the week. The chapters are going to increase as we get further into the course. So we start off kind of slow, a chapter a week, and then suddenly we're going to start to consume 2, sometimes 3 chapters a week. But I want you to kind of get into the groove of your reading and going through the different components that you need to go through. So one thing that I want to point out is the way this course is designed is a semester is a really long time, right? It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And what tends to happen is about halfway through, somewhere around Thanksgiving, November time, you're going to feel burnt out. You're going to be ready for the semester to end, but it's not over, right? So what this class is designed to do is to have the bulk of your work and all of your major assignments done in the early half of the course, where you're still fresh, you're excited, you're into it, and you have that energy level. So you'll see more assignments kind of popping into the week's modules to kind of complete. Those are extra points to kind of get in that grade book, get that extra learning in, get that baseline information in your head. And then after we hit Thanksgiving, we ease up a little bit, right? So you won't see as many actual assignments for points coming through after Thanksgiving. You're basically going to be doing your labs, you're going to be doing your reading and your discussion, and making your way through your model. And then we've got our exams that are due after that. But the majority of the assignments for points are going to be loaded on the front end of the course. So while you're still fresh. So make sure that you don't get put off by that. Like, oh my gosh, we're going to have all these assignments, all the way through December. No, you're going to have all of them in the beginning of the course. And then towards the end, it's just you're reading your labs, get through your module, and then we, have the exams that are due. So we ease up a little bit after Thanksgiving. So, and for some people, that can be difficult because maybe they didn't do all the assignments in the beginning. And as they get to the end and they actually take a look at their grades and they realize my grade really kind of isn't where I want it to be. And they start asking for extra credit assignments, and it's just like, yeah, no, all those assignments were in the beginning of the course. So make sure you get them all done. It might seem a little intense, at the beginning because you have, a few things that are due. But if you get yourself into a schedule where you know that, the time that you have carved out already in your schedule, meaning that you have, from 9:30 until, 10:30 for sure, already carved out every Monday and Wednesday morning. Maybe that's when you do your reading, right? And you go through your module to see what needs to be done. And then you have time already carved out on your schedule during the lab time. So make sure that you actually use that time that you already have built into your schedule to get the things done that you need to get done. Okay? But every assignment that you have, you'll have a full week to get the assignment done. And again, that comes from my experience with the online class as a student is, maybe you planned on one day to get the assignment done and then something happened where you couldn't. Maybe the internet went out or things just kind of went sideways. And it's due tomorrow, right? I don't want to put any stress on anyone, so you have a full week to get it done. Now, what I've seen before is a lot of people will say, okay, well, I'm going to wait until the very end of the week, like the same day that it's actually due, and try to get it, uploaded in that hour before it closes. That never works well because technology loves to have fun with you when you wait to the last minute. So do not wait until Sunday night at like 10 o'clock when it's going to close out at 11:59 on Sunday, because assignments are not reopened because you've had all week. So make sure you don't wait to the last minute. So that is a helpful tip. Okay, so when you first open it up, it's going to say make your way through Module 0, and then after you make your way through Module 0, you'll make your way to Module 1. Module 0 is more like an introduction for people who've never done an online class and who've never used Canvas. Maybe this is your first time at SMC. So Module 0 is more of like an overview to Canvas and how the course is going to run in general. You really get into the meat of the course in Module 1. It will not let you go to Module 1 until you've actually walked through Module 0. So let me show you what's in Module 0 so that you know what you need to do and what you can kind of go past if you've already taken online courses. This is not your first time at SMC. Maybe you were online in the springtime and you know how Canvas works and everything. So what you would do is you can either just click right here on Module 0 and it'll take you straight to Module 0, or over here on the right hand side you'll find a couple of tabs. First tab is announcements. If there's something that you need to know that's happening in the week, like hey, there's not going to be a lecture this week, or something strange has happened, which usually happens every semester. Some odd thing tends to happen. I usually will drop into an announcement and put up an announcement, and it goes straight into your email box. So make sure you keep an eye on your email for any announcements that may come through. But also when you jump into the course, just pop into announcements, take a look, see if there's any announcement that's happening. If it turns out that our Zoom room is not working for whatever reason, because sometimes Confer Now won't let people in at the start, I will go in and grab a link to the Zoom room and I will drop it in an announcement. So always try to use Confer Now to get into a Zoom room. But if your Confer Now is not working, don't panic. Just check announcements and see if there's a link that's put in there. Because sometimes if I know that Confer Now is malfunctioning, I'll drop a link in the announcement. Now, before I leave announcements, and since I've mentioned Confer Now, we use Confer Now to open up a Zoom room. This is right here on your main page. When we meet face-to-face. Meeting face-to-face is totally optional. There are some people who a face-to-face classroom works better for them, and it's really hard maybe for you to learn online. And so you need that interaction with someone in order to help facilitate your learning journey. Well, that's where the face-to-face actually is going to really hopefully be helpful for you. So I will open up the Confer.Now Zoom room every Monday and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific time, California time, here in Santa Monica. And so you can drop in at 12 noon. You can ask any question you want. You literally, if you want, I will go through the entire lecture with you if you need that. I love questions. So, never stay confused about anything in this course. If there's something, where you watched the lecture, you went through the PowerPoint, you still don't understand, drop in Monday at 12 noon. If you already have that time carved out, if you're in the Monday lab section and you know that your lab section is Monday, if you signed up for section 1272, then you have lab on Monday. If you signed up for section 1273, then you have lab on Wednesday. So you already have that time carved out. So at 12 noon, you can just go to Confer.Now, which I'm scrolling up, and you would click right here on Confer.Now, and I'll show you what you're going to see. Oh, look, an error. See? And it's probably telling me an error because I'm signed in as a student right now just to get the student view, but I'm not a student, and that's why it's giving me an error. But let me see if I can leave the student view and see if Confer.Now, there we go, will play nicely. Because it's not open for students right now. I'm actually recording this prior to Canvas opening up for the students, and that's why it gave an error. But when you click on Confer.Now, this is what you're going to see. You'll see the face-to-face that happens every Monday starting on August 31st. It's going to prompt me to open it at 11:55. By the time it gets open, it'll be 12 noon. And I have it set to stay open for us for an hour and a half. I seriously doubt we will be in there that long. But that's how much time we actually have to do that, so you don't have to feel rushed. Same thing on Wednesday. And you would just click on it, and then it'll take you in, okay? So let me see if I can get back into it without breaking it. See if we can get back to the home page. Please, please. There we go. Back to the home page. All right, but I do want to get back to the view that you're going to see, not the view that I see, because that's not helpful to you. So let's go back to student view. All right, great. It's the same thing that you see. All right, so that's how you would drop in. If you have any questions, drop in Monday at 12 noon using Confer.Now. And if Monday at 12 noon doesn't work for you, say you're in Monday lab, but something happens at 12 noon that you can't drop in at 12 noon on Monday, but for whatever reason, you can do it on Wednesday. That's fine. You can drop in either Monday or Wednesday. It really doesn't matter to me. I just know that if you signed up for Monday lab, you already have that time carved out. If you signed up for Wednesday lab, you already have that time carved out with no other class conflicts during that time. But sometimes life can conflict. So it doesn't matter when you decide to drop in, but you can. And so I open it at 12 noon. And usually in the beginning, people will come in with lots of questions and things like that. But as time kind of goes on and you get more comfortable and relaxed in the course, you know exactly what's going on and what to do, fewer and fewer people tend to come in to the face-to-face conference room. And so I'll open it up, and if nobody pops in the first 15 minutes, then I'll probably just close the room and figure no one's coming for that day. Okay, so make sure that if you're going to come into the Zoom room, you get there between 12 and 12:15, because if no one else comes in, the room's going to close down. and I'll see you the next time it opens up, okay? But if people are in there, we'll stay open as long as we need to. All right, so that hopefully will be helpful, and that's where you find the Zoom room in Come4Now. All right, so your assignments are going to be here in Assignments, so you can always find them. They're also listed over here in your to-do list, but if you want to see them in sort of a list form, they will show up right here in your assignments. So here you've got upcoming assignments, and you can just click on them and get them done. And then you have assignments that are undated, maybe because I haven't put a date on them yet. So grades, your grades are here. And essentially, let's see if it'll show me that. This is what you're going to see. And so it has the assignment, it has the due date, and then it tells you what the possible points are that were possible, and your score will go over here under score, okay? There, I'm not sure if it's going to show up on my version of it, but there is a way that you can actually determine, you can view your grades. Oh, here it is. View your grades based on what if scores. So you can do sort of a, well, especially for exams and things like that, you can kind of say, well, what if I only get like a 5 out of 10 on this one thing? How's it going to affect my grade? It'll let you do that. So it'll let you go ahead and do some what if calculations with your grades to kind of see what would happen if you wanted to use that. I suggest you just go for the maximum points all along, and all should be well. Pages. Pages is kind of the little secret treasure chest of where everything is actually hidden inside the course. So if you go, when you click on Pages, if you go to View All Pages, you're going to see all the pages loaded in here that I have available for you to look at. And there's a couple things that I wanted to point out to you. Number one, I have a Discord made for you guys so you can jump in and talk to each other as colleagues in the class. Because sometimes you just want to, talk to your peers that are in the class and maybe ask them a question. Instead of asking me, like maybe I tried to explain it and for some reason I couldn't explain it, in the way that resonated with you. And so you wanted to talk it over with some of your peers. The Discord link is there for you. I don't jump into your Discord unless there's a problem. So a couple of rules about the Discord: keep it academic. Kindness is key. Always be really kind to all your peers that are inside of Discord. There is no sharing of tests and things like that. So you don't want to do that because then you'll get in trouble. So don't do that. But feel free to jump into the Discord and talk to your peers. The other thing that I want to point out to you that's in here is this link right here. Let me ping it where I am. It's called Chapter Notes. And I took notes on all the chapters for you. So what you can do is use it as your study guide before the exams to make sure that you understand each of the points that were important to learn in the lead up to the exam. So because everything in this course builds on itself, you want to make sure that you kind of quiz yourself in addition to the little quizzes that I'll give you at the end of each week, which is at the end of each chapter, to make sure you understand the major concepts that are in the chapter. And those chapter notes will help you do that. So it's kind of a really nice listing of the notes and everything that's important to get out of that chapter. The other thing that I have sort of in here for you is I have the PowerPoints right here where it says PowerPoint slides. All the PowerPoints are in there that you will need to review. So when I'm doing the lectures for you, I'm going through the PowerPoints, but they've been changed specifically for you for this semester. So the PowerPoints that you see in there are the same PowerPoints, just in their basic form. And so there's extra little things that I add every semester to keep it very relevant for you. So it's not like it's a completely different PowerPoint. It's actually the same PowerPoint. It's just the one that I'm giving in lecture has more relevant material to what's going on now. So you can still use those to go back over the PowerPoints in your own time, make your own notes on the PowerPoint slides, whatever you need to do, they are there for you. The other thing is supplementary materials. That's a really nice page. It's got some extra videos and things like that inside that you can go through. The videos that are super important that I absolutely need you to watch, I will embed inside your module. But these are extra videos that are also in here that may help to explain a little bit more for you. If you just feel like you need more information to understand a concept, that's fine. Go right to supplementary materials page. So feel free to kind of make your way through these pages and take a look at anything that is interesting to you. Let's see. This is a really nice one. How to study and learn new concepts. That's really helpful. That's a nice page. How to find your book online is also in there, just in case you can't find your book, even though I have it in the home page, and I'll go back and show you that where it is. And there's some COVID-19 literature and information. We'll be talking more about that so you have a greater understanding of that, but there's more information there for you. Right here, I should probably point this out. This page, another hidden gem, this is the Concepts of Biology Student Solutions Manual. So when you're reading your book, at the end of each chapter, there are questions. But the answers aren't there, right? The answers are right here in this Concepts of Biology Student Solutions Manual. Now, not all of the questions are answered in that Student Solutions Manual, but it's kind of, sometimes it's all the evens, sometimes it's all the odds. They actually just sometimes don't even have a pattern to it. But I'll tell you this. I will never ask you a question straight from your book that is not answered in that solutions manual. So make sure that when you're going through and you're reading the book at the end and you're taking a look at those questions, maybe have this solutions manual opened up in a different browser window so that you can take a look at the answers, make sure that you understand the answers, okay? So only the ones in that solutions manual will I ever ask you, not any of the others, so you don't have to sweat that. Biodiversity webcams. This is one of my favorite links when you actually just need a mind break. These are links to webcams that are throughout the different national parks. And also there's an ocean cam. There are some that are in Catalina Island with the kelp and the Garibaldi, and it's just really relaxing to watch. So when you need a mind break, you want to kind of escape, feel like you're outside, feel free to jump into these webcams and take a look. Okay, so I think that's it for your pages, view all pages, hidden gems that are in here. Okay, let's see. Quizzes, that's where you'll find your quizzes. Discussions, that's where you'll find your discussions. Your Labster dashboard, that's where I'm not sure if this is gonna open because it's not open for students yet, so we may get some weirdness here. Yep, no played simulations can be found, but when you play your simulations, it will open up here so you can kind of keep track of all your simulations. When you finish your simulations though, they're gonna automatically, the grade's gonna automatically populate into the grade book, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, modules. This is how your week is laid out. This is really where you need to just kind of go on Monday. Just start in that week's module, and it'll walk you through everything you need to do for the week so you don't miss anything. But I do want to start you with module 0 so I can show you what you need to actually do and what you can kind of just, all right, I'm good with that. Okay, so you can get to your module 0 by here, modules. There's module 0. Here you'll see module 1 popping up. Module 1 is not going to open until you finish module 0. See that prereq right there? So even if you try to go to module 1, it's going to boot you back to module 0. So just start there. As a reminder, I also have a link to module 0 in your homepage. So as soon as you open it up, there it is right there. So, and here's the link to the book. Remember I told you not only is your book in a page, when you go to pages, view all pages, link to your book, there's a link to your book right here on the home page. But let's start with module 0 so I can show you what you need to do. All right, it says start here, tells you what you will learn in the course, what you're going to do in the module. And this module is the overview, right? And so it says you're going to read the module pages, introducing our learning environment, introduce yourself, and engage with classmates in your weekly discussion, your very first weekly discussion. Read the module pages explaining our course guidelines and policies. Review the module pages describing various resources available to support you through your learning. So whenever you need to, where is the number for tech support? Where is the number for tutoring with SMC? I have all of that loaded in there for you so you don't have to kind of search around the SMC website and maybe get lost in sort of the rabbit hole of everything. I have it all laid out for you. And at the end, there's a little self-check quiz, which is really simple, and you can open up your pages to find the answer. So, and you can take it as many times as you need to until you get it right. So I don't want you to sweat on that first quiz. But for each module, when you're done reading that page, right here at the lower right, I'm going to ping my cursor, is the word next. And it could be that my image right now is covering it, but if you look at the lower right, you will see the word next. Just click next. You will next your way through your weekly modules, okay? So here, this is again describing the course and your student outcomes. The most important thing that you're going to learn about this course is you'll be able to demonstrate an understanding of biological concepts from the areas of molecular, cellular, organism, and population biology. You'll be able to discern the capabilities and limitations of the scientific process, develop analytical and critical thinking skills, super important. I am really going to concentrate on that because that is going to give you the most value as you move forward in life, to be able to have the ability to do some very serious critical thinking and to hone your analytical skills. So that's what we're going to be working on a lot and applying that knowledge, right? Because in biology, you're learning how everything works, which is really cool, right? But not just on a, hey, answer this 40 question test, right? No, that's not the whole point. To be able to apply it to your everyday life so that you can actually use it to better not only yourself in your own life, but hopefully help someone else in your job, right? So really important skill set that you're learning here. And I want you to be able to appreciate the diversity of life on this planet and learn about their interactions with each other, these different organisms that are on the planet, and make informed decisions about preserving your health and your environment. So we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to have a lot of fun this semester. But again, now at the bottom of the page, when you look, because this is the second page, now I have a previous button because I can go back to the original page, or I can hit next. Let's hit next. Here again, this is telling you about Canvas. If you have been a student here at SMC, you've already used Canvas, no problem. The only thing I ask you to do is right here, it's asking you to add your profile image. And it's telling you where to do that. Go to account profile. And that's right over here at the very top, out of view of my screen. You will see your, ping my cursor. If you look just on your screen, which is off camera on my screen, you will see what says account at the very top of Canvas, right under the word Santa Monica College. Click on account and then go to profile, and please upload either an image or an avatar, because I need to have some way to recognize you. Otherwise, you don't want to be just a number. You don't want to just be a name. You want me to actually be able to have some concept of you, right? So please upload a picture of you or an avatar that you feel represents you, so I can actually in my mind connect that to you. So when I see that, that's you, right? And that's really important. I know in this time of being online, it's hard to connect with professors. It really is. But it's important while you're in college and you're in university to connect with your professors. And I'll tell you why. Because the next steps and stages that you need along your career journey, your academic journey, your career journey, they all require that you have letters of support, right? And recommendations. And they want to see it from your professors. And if your professors don't know you, they know nothing about you, you've never interacted with us, we can't write you a letter of support. We don't know you. I know nothing about this person, right? So it's really important that you interact with us. And we actually want you to. I know it feels scary because you aren't used to it from high school, that you want to kind of like stay hidden, just do your work and not be known. But in college and in university, you want your professor to know you, because those letters of recommendation get you to the university that you want to go to, get you the job that you want to have, and they're required. So we want to know you. So get your profile picture in there, jump into the face-to-face, and let's chat and let me get to know you. Make it easy. So when you do need that letter of recommendation, I instantly will recognize you and remember the communications that we had and the talks that we had and the things that we talked about, and just go, yeah, you did really well in the class. You learned the information. You know your stuff, right? And that's going to make life so much easier for you and get you to your next levels. So please get to know your professors, add your profile image. And here it talks about setting your notifications. So here we hit next. This tells you a little bit about me. This is a little bio video that I made. So feel free to take a look at that. But this one right here where it says, here's a short video to let you in on some of the fun in the course, made with Unreal Engine. Please watch this one. I had so much fun putting this one together for you, and it's just showing a little blue square, but there is a lot of awesomeness inside this blue square. When you click on it, it's going to open up all kinds of amazing in there. So please watch that. And this tells you how you can contact me. And the best way, honestly, is to jump into the face-to-face Zoom on Monday and Wednesday if you have any issues, because when you email me, it may take a week before I actually respond back, because I may be busy like making videos or something where I'm not going to actually be able to get to my email as quickly. But on Mondays and Wednesdays, you can jump into the Zoom, and if it's something that we need to discuss privately, we can just drop into a private Zoom room and talk about it. So that's actually the best way. If you have any issues or problems, is let's talk about it face to face. But here's my email. If you need to email me, that's Courtney_Angela@smc.edu. Only email using your SMC email address because the college technology department has recommended that we do not respond to any emails that are not from SMC because people are doing spoofing and phishing and all kinds of stuff. So only come off your SMC email. If you come off your Gmail or anything like that, I'm not going to respond to it. Also, you cannot send me any late assignments. No files, no PDFs, nothing through email because I cannot open it. Why? Because files through email and things like that can have viruses, and if I get a virus on my computer, we are done for the semester, and that is a disaster for everyone, right? So I don't open any files that anyone sends me, so do not do that. I'm going to show you a way that you can actually send me a file through Canvas, even if the assignment is closed, okay? So do not send me any files through email. Okay, hit next. You can't see this yet. This is your very first discussion. It's going to open up on Monday when you actually can see this. And you're going to make yourself an infographic. So your first soiree into data. You're going to turn yourself into data. So you'll see that. The whole thing and all the explanation and the links and everything will open up for you. So right now it's blank because it's closed to students, but it will be open. And if you have any questions, that Monday at 12 noon, jump into the face-to-face, and I'm happy to answer them. Okay. This talks about, again, another link to your textbook. So this is the required materials, Canvas, a computer. You need to have either Chrome or Safari. As your browser interface in order for the lab, the Labster virtual labs to actually work. So they don't work with any other browser type, either Chrome browser or a Safari browser. And if you have Safari and it's not opening up for you, the virtual lab, then you may have to install the Chrome browser and try to open it in Chrome. Vice versa, if you have a Chrome browser and you try to get into it and it won't open up for you, you may have to install Safari and then try to open it up in Safari. So that's just sort of the way it is. You'll find that that when you're working with the virtual lab, some students have told me that having a mouse has made it so much easier. So I would recommend having a mouse because it's this really cool virtual 3D environment. It feels like a gaming environment, honestly, which makes it a lot of fun. And so you literally are in 3D when you drop into the lab. The very first time that you click on the lab, it's a link. You click on the lab for the week. It will open up a new browser tab, and then it's going to load. The first time it loads, it may take a while. So click on it, click start, go get yourself a sandwich, wait for a while. It eventually will load up for you. The very first time can be very slow. And of course, it's really dependent on your internet speed as well. But the very first time can take a while because it's syncing everything. It's syncing you, it's syncing the gradebook. It's the first time it's kind of connecting you with everything to do with the virtual labs. But from there on, it should open up a little bit faster after that very first one. But the first one can take a while. But it's super fun, and I've even had students ask me whether or not I could open up other virtual labs that weren't, assignments because they just wanted to do more. That's how fun they are. So I hope you enjoy them as much as everyone has enjoyed them in the past. I've even had one student actually reach out to Labster in order to do other ones that he wanted to do that I couldn't open without other students seeing it too, and having them freak out that all of a sudden these new things, these new assignments, these new labs are there. But yeah, they were a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed because I walk through them before I assign them to you. so that I can, catch any gotchas, things that could be an issue for you with that lab. One of the biggest things, this is sort of a hint with the labs, is sometimes if you don't see something, turn your avatar around and look behind you, because sometimes the thing it's asking you to get is actually virtually behind you. So make sure that you look in 360 degrees around the room that you're in. So that's really helpful. Also, if you're at a virtual lab bench and it's telling you to go get something else, there's a back button at the very, very top. And when you click back, it'll let you step back from the bench, and then you can kind of see, the rest of the room and where things are. So use that back button. So that's a good hint. The other hint is when you're doing the quizzes, which is what ends up in your grade book, the theory tab is the tab that has all the information that you need to know about that lab. You have access to that theory tab when you're in the quiz. So if you're in a quiz and you've gone through and there's a question and you're just like, I don't remember that, click on the theory tab, open up the theory, read the theory, find the answer to the question, and then answer the question. So use that theory tab. It will really help you and help you get the best grade that you can get. You can answer the questions more than once. It does take off points when you get it wrong and you answer it again. But you can answer it again if you get it wrong. But use the theory tab and that will help you. Okay, so enough hints about the lab. Let's keep going through your introductory 0 module. So I just hit next. This is talking about participation and attendance. Make sure you read that. So participation in an online course is attendance, right? And if you're not participating, you're not doing the discussions, you're not turning in the assignments, you're not actually part of the class at all, and you're going to get dropped. So make sure that you do those Monday morning discussions. That's number one. So I know that you're still like part and parcel of us, of Bio 3, right? And then, of course, you have all week long to do all your assignments. So get them done before Sunday so you're not missing assignments. Because the very first week, anyone who doesn't participate in the first week's discussion in any of the assignments, by Wednesday, they get dropped. So that I can make room for people who are on the wait list who really want to be part of the class. They've been emailing me trying to get into the class. So if you're not participating, you're going to get dropped, and I'm going to add people who really are into it and want to do this thing and they're ready to go. So please make sure you read this page on participation. And if you have not done anything for the week, you're in danger of getting dropped by the second week. But the next week, moving forward, if you haven't done anything for the week by that second week, you're in danger of getting dropped, and you definitely need to get a hold of me, because I'm probably pulling up things and getting ready to hit that drop button. So just make sure you're doing the discussions and you're turning things in, okay? You have a whole week to do it. All right, so read that, super important. And this is the discussion guidelines. It's just kind of telling you the netiquette of discussions, so make sure you read that. Grading and late work. Okay, this is what I was talking about. So the grading is super simple. You've got your labs, and all of these points are going to change, honestly, based on how you guys are doing. There are certain semesters where I find that group of students, they just need more assignments in order to learn the material, because that's what the assignments are for, to help you learn the material, right? Which means that their point system is going to change, but it always stays very relative, right? Even though there may be more assignments, it stays very relative. You have roughly 4 exams. They're about 100 points each. And it's going to vary. Some exams are going to be a written exam. Some are going to be creatives. So, and we talk about it as a class before the exams are actually due, because it's really hard for me to know what's going to work best for you guys when I don't know you yet. So that very first week is really important, because that first assignment where you're actually turning yourself into an infographic, that's helping me learn about you. What's your major? What are you interested in? So I can actually tailor the class, towards you. So that's really important. Then when we jump into that face-to-face, then I get to learn more about you guys. And then I know what types of exams are actually going to be best for you to showcase what you've learned in the class, right? Because I am not a huge fan of the 100-question exam. So we'll tend to get a little bit more creative, all right? And then we have a final. And of course, you have your discussions. I'm right here. I'm going through the grading criteria. So in the end, there's sort of this basic 700 points that you see here in the breakdown. I drop your lowest exam. I do not drop the final, but I drop your lowest exam. And that's because, sometimes you're having a bad week. Sometimes you couldn't get it together for that exam. And I understand, right? So your lowest exam, of the 4 exams, your lowest is dropped. And then the other 3 basically are averaged out. And that's how that works. But the final is never dropped, okay? So that leaves you with a cumulative total of about 600 points. And then from there, the grading scale is your basic 90 to 100, it's an A, 80 to 89 is a B, anywhere in the 70s is a C, anywhere in the 60s is a D, anything below 60 is an F. Okay, basic grading scale. Late submissions. You have a whole week to submit. And that extra time is already built in. So I don't give extra time over and above the week that you've already have to do an assignment. So what you'll find though with Canvas is you have a due date on the assignment, as you saw in the to-do list, right? If I haven't started grading that assignment yet, Canvas sometimes will let you still go ahead and upload the assignment. Even though it's closed, it'll let you upload the assignment and it'll just mark it as late. And I can see that. I can see your submission. I can see what you actually uploaded. It will tell me in big red letters that it was late. It'll give me the date and the time that you put it in. And so you will lose points on that, but you'll still get it graded, right? Once I start grading everyone, which is usually your assignment was due this week, I start grading the week after. So once I start grading, usually Canvas will lock it out so no other submissions can come in, right? It won't let you submit. You try to submit and it's locked out. It says, no, you can't, right? So it usually will let you upload as late all the way up until the point that I start grading, okay? And what you can do also is you can drop your assignment, whether it be a PDF or a video or whatever it is that's due, when you go into comments on the assignment, where you go to actually submit your assignment, it will give you a little comments box. So you can start writing in that comments box, here is my late submission, because it would not let me upload. As soon as you start writing in that comments box, it will give you a little button that says add an attachment. Click that and that's where you're going to upload whatever it is you need to upload, okay? And so even if it's closed, you can still drop it into a comment and I will see it. It's going to put a date, it's going to put a timestamp on it, and you need to let me know that you did that because it won't flag me that you actually did that, okay? Especially after I've started grading, because I start at the top and I just start going through everyone grading. And once I've filtered all the way through, I don't like to go back and regrade all again, trying to pick up the ones that threw things in the comments. So I don't make a second pass looking for someone who came through that the system's not flagging for me. So you would have to let me know. But I do not reopen assignments. So that won't happen because you've already had a week. So make sure you read through that, okay? Let's go next. This is talking about finding your grades. If you've never used Canvas before, finding feedback. I drop your feedback into the comments. So when I'm grading, if there's some comments that I need to add, I'll drop it in the comments. Those comments will show up in your email. So keep your eye on your email. This talks about academic integrity, really, really super important, about cheating and things like that. So make sure you read that so you know what the rules are, because I do not tolerate that. No professor does. And there are very severe academic punishments for that, so please don't do it. This class is designed so you don't have to do it, right? Learn the material. Here's all those links that I told you I was going to have in here for you. So here's the link to the Accessibility Support Center, the DSPS website if you need that, phone numbers, emails, the library, ask a librarian, like if you need to look up something when we're doing papers and things like that, tutoring, if you need a tutor, for some reason you've fallen behind and you looked up and, oh man, my grade is not where I want it to be, and maybe things just aren't clicking. SMC still has their tutoring service going, even online, which is fantastic. So you can get a hold of a tutor and get the extra help you need. Certainly jump in face to face. I am willing to explain things 1,000 times over until you get it. But sometimes when someone explains something, it just doesn't click in the way that they're explaining, even if they change it. So sometimes you do need a tutor, just a different point of view to explain something, and that's okay. They're free at SMC. That's amazing. Other services, other links that I have in here, student healthcare, the food pantry. If you need food, which is fantastic, they actually have some fantastic free food that they give away. The mental health department at SMC, if you're having some issues, especially now, we're in lockdown, some of you are maybe, isolated alone and having some problems with that, there is free help at SMC. So all of these links are right here for you. Campus bookstore, maybe you need to order some extra things. Maybe you need, I don't even know if they carry mice for the computer, if you need a mouse for your computer. But you can go to the campus bookstore online and order. So that's there for you. If you need this one right here, pay attention to this one. If you need Microsoft Office 365 in order to have Word and PDF and things like that, it is free for you at SMC. Right here on this link where it says free access to Microsoft Office 365, click that, put in your SMC email, boom, you are hooked up, okay? So that is that page. So we're still making our way through Module 0, and I'm taking a lot of time. It won't take you this long. Canvas help support. If you have issues with Labster is completely malfunctioning for you. Right here is where you're going to get those solved. You're going to contact Labster itself. Right here, click on that, technical issues. They also have live support Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern time. So click on that. You can actually discuss directly with somebody. So that's where you're going to get your Labster help. Continue on through your Module 0. This should be the link to your the mobile Canvas app. If you need that, I find that my Android phone, I can just get to Canvas by going to the SMC website, logging in. You could do the same thing. But if you want the app, got room for extra apps, there is the Canvas app that you can put on your phone. So there's that link there for you. If any of these links do not work for you, then just go into Google and then type in SMC and then the thing you're looking for, because they just redid SMC's website, which means all the links to all the pages broke. So I went through and tried to find all the broken links and fix them with the new website. But I'm sure they're going to redo the new website at some point, and so some of these pages may break unbeknownst to me. So you can always just Google the thing if the link doesn't work, okay? This page where it says optional resources for online learning. You do not have to click on these and go through all of these if you don't need any of this help. You can totally just look at this page, make sure all is well, but if you need the help that this page offers, feel free to click on these links. So Introduction to Online Learning, Getting Tech Ready, these are all little videos that are put together by SMC to kind of help you understand all these different things. So they're outside of this course, but if you need them, there are links to resources. So don't feel like you have to watch each and every one of these. You don't, okay? And then we click. And then here comes your self-check quiz, which is really, really simple. And then you can open up another browser tab to go back and look up things if you're not sure, and take the quiz as many times as you need to until you get it right. So don't stress on that. That's your module 0, and you'll know you're done with a module when it says, congrats, you have made it to the end of the module. What you learned, what you did, okay? And then when you click next from there on, after module 0, it's gonna take you straight into module 1, and with module 1, that starts all of our learning, and we fly from there, okay? So make sure you make your way through module 0, and I'm gonna see you inside the course. Bye, everybody.